The scientific method is often described as humanity's greatest achievement, our most reliable path to knowledge. It gives us medicine, electricity, and space travel. But does science explain everything? What are the limits of this method we hold so dear? At its core, the scientific method is simple. We observe, we hypothesize, we test, we analyze, and then we repeat. It is a loop of evidence and correction, powerful because it disciplines curiosity with method. But every method has boundaries, and the more we rely on science, the more important it becomes to ask what lies beyond those boundaries. The first limit comes from philosophy. David Hume called it the problem of induction. Science assumes that patterns we see today will hold tomorrow. The sun rose yesterday and the day before, and for thousands of years before that, so we expect it to rise tomorrow. But logically, no number of past observations can guarantee the future. All it takes is one black swan to overturn the certainty that all swans are white. Science then never gives us absolute truth, only provisional confidence. Another limit lies in measurement. To know reality, we must measure it, but measuring can change what we measure. In quantum physics, the very act of observing a particle alters its behavior. The double slit experiment shows that particles act like waves until we look when they collapse into particles. Science cannot escape this paradox. Our tools of observations also shape reality. The scientific method is objective in theory, but in practice, science is done by humans, and humans are biased. We favor results that confirm our beliefs. We chase funding and prestige. We resist ideas that threaten our worldview. Plate tectonics was dismissed for decades. Germ theory met ridicule. Paradigm shifts often happen not because the evidence suddenly changed, but because minds did. Science is vulnerable to culture, politics, and power. Even when science can, it does not mean it should. The scientific method cannot decide morality. It can split the atom, but it cannot tell us whether to build power plants or bombs. It can map the human genome, but it cannot tell us how far to go in rewriting it. Science explains how, ethics must answer whether. Some questions lie outside empirical testing altogether, like what is beauty, what is justice, what is the meaning of life. Science can study how humans experience these things, but it cannot declare their ultimate value. For that, we need philosophy, art, and spirituality. Another limit comes from complexity. Some systems are simple to vast and unpredictable. Weather, ecosystems, human societies, their parts interact in ways beyond full control. Chaos theory shows that tiny causes can have enormous effects. A butterfly's wing may shape a storm. Science can model probabilities, but not certainty. Consider medicine. Clinical trials show effectiveness but cannot answer the deeper question, what is health? Consider cosmology. The Big Bang describes a beginning but not why there is something rather than nothing. Consider consciousness. Neuroscience maps brain activity but cannot yet explain why it feels like something to be alive. Here science reaches the horizon of mystery. The scientific method is powerful precisely because it limits itself. It avoids speculation, it insists on what can be tested. But problems arise when we mistake science for the whole of knowledge, when scientism claims that only science can explain reality. In truth, science thrives best alongside philosophy, ethics, and arts, domains that ask different questions and offer different kinds of truth. The scientific method is humanity's sharpest lens on the natural world, but no lens captures everything. By recognizing its limits, we learn humility. We remember that reality is larger than any method can contain. Science can explain the stars in the sky, but it cannot explain the meaning of wonder when we look at them. Perhaps that is its greatest limit and our greatest responsibility. Hi, I'm the Invincible Developer. I hope you like this video. Stick around for the next one. Thank you.